getting set. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to ITC 29. So this was quite a good iteration for us, wherein we completed 21 points against the plan 20 points. The features we have completely done is one is skip product. It has been done end to end. We also did some UI enhancements for print columns on the RNAR, and also we have reduced the number of pop-ups coming in while enabling a facility back on after disabling it. Earlier, we used to ask if second pop-up asked if the facility should be turned back on active. We have eliminated that. So there has been some UI enhancements. And also, with respect to contract, we are almost on the verge of completing all the APIs as planned. So that is also going on really good. And also, the third section that we focused on was managing of these virtual facilities, the CSW. What are the actions they can do via the web browser, and what is it that they cannot do? So these were largely the three areas of focus for us during this acquisition. Also, we did some refactoring of the functional test. This was the update from the QA. So again, the highlights are written there, which is save and initiation of the requisition API. Approved requisition API was done. We did the managed virtual facility update. The restriction has been brought in that virtual facilities cannot create requisitions via the application. We also brought in the feature that the beginning balance will be editable, even though, what was happening earlier was that if you have stock on hand for the previous period, they used to get pre-filled for the beginning balance. But from now on, what we're doing is even if you have a period, a previous period stock on hand, it still is being editable for the user. We've completely done the skip product feature, which I'll showcase. Also, we made the RNAR form more user-friendly by increasing the first three columns. Also, we continuing with the analysis of the skip field. So these are largely the highlights for this iteration. Let me get on to the first story, which is 1153, which is freezing columns on the RNAR. So let me log in as a super user. Let me go to the administration screen, the RNAR template. You can choose any of the programs. So you see here that the first three columns are frozen, and it's only starting from the unit of issue that you see three horizontal bars, which indicate that these are dragged. The positions of these fields can be changed. So the unit of issue can be drag and drop, but if we try to do that same thing for product or product code or skip products, it is not allowed. Let's get on to the next story, which is the creation of a requisition. Let's choose any of the products, programs. Let's say malaria, for instance. I want to do a RNR for March. I've already used this field. So from the previous stock on hand, which is 1,111, it is being displayed. So the beginning balance is editable. I can edit it now. 19, 10. And if you notice, the skip, the product code, and the product is not moving. It's only the rest of the columns which are moving, which makes it easier for the user to actually enter values onto a particular product. This is, will be much more pronounced if it's larger on a screen with much more products. So that is the story of the freezing of the columns on the RNAR. I will also show you another RNAR. Let's go, for instance, for an essential medicines or not. Right, so let me go for February. We'll click proceed. Fairly big RNA, so that's why it's taking a little bit of time to fill in. As you see, you can skip all the products, which clicking on there, it essentially disables each of those fields where the user was allowed to enter values. I can choose to unskip one product, let's say, or say 2 products. I fill in value, total consumed quantity 10. I'll have an order quantity calculator, and it asks me for request quantity explanation. I try to submit this RNR, it will not let me because I haven't entered a reason, and also because I haven't filled in these mandatory fields. Now, what happens if I choose to skip that particular product which I have not filled in the mandatory values for? It will allow me to submit this RNR. So, another thing I want to actually show is for the second product, I can actually fill in a value which brings the stock on hand to be a negative value. So what happens with that is, you can go ahead, fill in these values, quantity 10, total consumed quantity maybe 3, stock on hand is calculated to be negative. On a regular RNR, if there are errors such as these, it doesn't allow us to submit. Whereas if I skip that particular product, it allows me to submit. So I can go ahead and submit this RNR. Oh, I haven't filled in the regimens there. That's why. I come back, all the regimens are filled. And I can choose to submit this RNR. It asks me to confirm. Also, what you have to notice is, the authorizer does get these values that have been filled by the submitter, but once he authorizes that, all those values get nulled out, and for the approver, it doesn't, show up for the approver at all. So any bad data that is being filled in by the submitter or the authorizer for a skipped product, it doesn't show up for the approver. So I can go ahead and authorize this RNR. So it will go through. So RNR is authorized successfully. I can go to the approve screen. And for this essential medicine, I can notice that it is only the first P74 product which is being filled. So that completes the story for skip products, submit, skip, and authorize RNR. We also saw the edit of the beginning balance story. So the next story I want to focus on is number 1140, which is essentially manage virtual facility update. So let me log in as the admin itself to do this. I will log in as admin, and let's say I want to manage facility B10, which is virtual facility 10. Notice the key attributes of this virtual facility. Virtual facility type is warehouse. Its geographical zone is District 1 and it supports all the programs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess up these data. I'm going to say that it's going to belong to District 2. It does not support vaccines and it is of a facility type District Office. And I'm going to individually save this data, right? Now I go to its parent, F10, and I go there, and what I do is, I can notice that F10 has the facility type is warehouse, and it supports all the programs including vaccine, and District 1 is the geographical zone. Let's assume that I've changed some of these and then save this data. What happens to V10 is this data gets propagated and it will come back to district office and all right. Let me see. It is S11 that gets changed. Central Hospital. Okay, that is a warehouse. And District 1 supports all the programs. And I'll save that. Seems that there are some problems here. Yeah, let me check that once more. So let's go back to F10. What is the warehouse? District 1. Let's say we can. It still doesn't show up. There seems to be some problem in this. I'll check that up and we can continue on with the stories. Restricting of virtual facility from the RNR screen, which is I will log in as the facility head. And if I go into create and authorize, and if I go to my supervised facilities for essential medicine, it's only F10 and F100 which comes in, whereas we are restricting all the virtual facilities from actually creating requisitions by that. So it's only the parent facilities or the regular facilities that can create RNRs through the web browser, but not any of those virtual facilities. Whereas if you look at view, you will see that, if you select a facility, all the virtual facilities, which is V13, V12, V11, V10, etc., do come on. 11 for F10. Okay. So let me go back and check for V11 for that. So this essentially is story number 1178. And let's go back and try 1140, which is manage virtual facility update. And go back to super user. V11 for F10. Okay. Administrator manage facilities. I check for 11. Changing it to district office and district 2. Saving it. Coming back. It is still district office and district 2 in geographical zones. I go back, change for facility 10, village dispensary, make it as warehouse, and then I choose district 1, and I do a save, come back to V11, change, still district office. Yeah. The problem with how we map the parent facility, so I need to figure that out. Okay. Let's continue with the rest of the API. This is one of those features that we will have to put with you again. Let's continue with the rest of the stuff, which is the first thing is initiate R&R via an API. All right. So for initiating an R&R via an API, what I would do is I would go into Postman, and this is my JSON. I would put that JSON in. I would put it as a post message. And what I would actually do is I would put this in as the values wherein I'm creating for agent code V10, program code malaria, product 151, and then I say send, right? What happens is null product codes 151. Something's really messed up. Great. Something is corrupt in the back end, I guess. So it's only for V12 that we have the program code as malaria, which is fine. Hence, the requisition ID 14 has been created for V12. We'll take this requisition ID. So it's for V12 again, it has been created. We go back and see where this API has it actually saved the requisition. So we go back, type it on the URL, say that it is 14, and we get the requisition ID 14, which has been created for malaria against the agent code B12. So which is story number 1185, which is save R&R. For 900, which is an approve R&R. So what we have to initially do is we have to create an R&R via the web browser, and then we will have to basically approve it via the API call. So I will go ahead and create an R&R or say media, right? For the facility F10 malaria regular initiated Go ahead and submit this. Okay. And I will also go ahead and authorize this statement, the RLR step. All right. So I've authorized this successfully. So what I would have to now go back and do is I would have to okay. So first I will have to go and change the facility F10 to be a virtual facility. True. Yeah, I'm updating the facility to be a virtual facility. True. And it has got updated. What I would again do is copy this, put this in Postman, and the requisition ID is 10. And I will put the requisition ID is 10, and the name, and say product quantity 151 and the quantity of 200, 151. Yeah. Yeah. There. Okay, so it has to be a put request. Sorry. All right, so it's successfully approved via the API. The last story I wanted to showcase is us actually, managing the virtual facility update via the API again, which is 1140. So, or rather 1158. So what I can do is taking virtual facility V10, agent code is V10, agent code is V10, agent new name. Let's put that, we're putting the facility as F10, the phone number, we're going to change it to 99999, and saying that active is true. So it's V10 which is getting updated. Oh, right. So what we had earlier done was, we had made F10 as a virtual facility. We'll have to turn that back on into as false. And post it again. And it has been updated successfully. If we look at V10 again, and we go in, manage facilities, V10, you can see that the agent's code has changed to agent's name, new name, which was done via the API. We had changed the phone number as well, if you remember, to 99999. So it has changed totally. and it also inherits the values of parent with warehouse and district 1. So with that, we've come to the end of the showcase. There is one more story that we would need to showcase, which was the managed parent facility change in the virtual facility. So we look into why the data in the backend has, got messed up with the parent facilities not being mapped properly. I think we'll be able to showcase that properly in the next showcase that is there. If you have any queries or questions, please do send them across to Ron, and we will be happy to respond to that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.